In this video, I'm going to show you how to install and use Orca Mini 13B model by using AWS SageMaker. I already have created this SageMaker notebook and I'm going to open this notebook in Jupyter Lab. So here I am. Now, in order to install this model, first thing you need to do is to upgrade the version of SageMaker API. For that, I'm running this pip command with exclamation mark at the start. Now I'm running it, it's running and it doesn't take long. So while it runs and upgraded, let me go back to that Hugging Face page for Orca Mini and just to show you how to run this or deploy this in SageMaker. So while you're on this page, on the right hand side, there is a deploy button with a drop down. Click on that and then you will see here Amazon SageMaker. Click here and these are all the instructions we need to run. Now, in order to do that, I would suggest that we do in the pieces so that we know what we are doing. So I'm just going to first copy all of this until here, where I'm importing some JSON and also downloading the model and all that stuff. Copy it, go back to your notebook, and here just paste this. And it has given me the first command which I ran has given me some dependency errors. You can ignore them, that is fine. Now, while on this second cell, run this and this static is showing you that it is currently running. So now as it runs, let's wait for it to finish. It will take bit of a time. So that is fine. Just give it a time. Okay, so this has finished running, which is great. No errors. Now go back to that page and copy the rest of it. Here we are creating the Hugging Face model class. Then we are deploying the model to this instance. And I'm just using their default one. Go back to your notebook, deploy here. Now let me run it. And what it will do is, let me run it and I'll explain what exactly it is doing. So here it is just creating the Hugging Face model class. Plus, as you can see, this is here using Hugging Face dot underscore model to deploy it. And it is using this instance type, which is a bit expensive, so beware. And it will wait for 5 minutes or 300 seconds to it to finish. If it won't finish within that, it will time out and it won't get deployed. And I will also show you is where you can see it is being deployed. So what happens is that behind the scene, it creates an endpoint in AWS to this instance and uses it for that. So when once we are done and when it is time to clean up, we also need to go in and clean it up. And I'll also show you so that you don't get a bill shock at the end of the month. So let's wait for it to finish. So while it is deploying my model in Jupyter Notebook, this is what I was talking about, the endpoint. So if you go to the AWS SageMaker service, on the left you will see under inference these endpoints, and this is the endpoint which it is creating right now for the instance we selected in US East Fund. So once we are done with it, we also need to come here and delete this endpoint from here. And another thing which we'll be doing is going into the models on the left hand side, and there will be this model which we need to delete afterward. This can also be done through your code in notebook, but I always prefer to come here and do it just for peace of mind. Okay, let's go back to that notebook and see what is happening. Let me make it a bit bigger. So it is still running, so let's wait for it to finish. Okay, it seems that it has come back and timed out and didn't finish in 300 seconds. Earlier I had set it to around 900 and then it finished at that time, but this time I was just using the default from this GitHub repo. As you can see 300, but it didn't finish. So I guess if you increase this timeout, it should finish easily. And because I have been doing exactly the same steps with 900 and it passes. But these are the steps which you need to take on, and you can see it's very quick, uh, very easy steps which you need to do. And one thing I wanted to mention is that on the right hand side, make sure that you are using Conda PyTorch P310 kernel for this, because I have checked it with other kernels like conda python 3, and it didn't work with this kernel. Now, in order to clean up, you need to do three things, as I mentioned earlier. First, you need to go to your you need to go to your SageMaker console. You need to clear up the model. Then you need to clear up the endpoint, and also then at the end, you need to go in and delete your notebook instance. First, you need to check it, action stop, and then once it's in the stop state, then you can go in and delete it. So I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you have any feedback, please put it in the comment section. Thank you very much. And yes, PS, I will see if I could reproduce a video with 900 seconds. Thank you very much.